Welcome back, guys. Now we have got the golden clockwork canary playing Zork here in Black Ops. We're going to do something very special with the canary, so we're heading east through the kitchen, east again to go behind the house, back north of the house, and then north again. We'll end up on the forest path where we started. And what you're going to do here is something pretty special with the golden clockwork canary that we picked up from inside the egg once the thief had opened the egg for us, which is wind the clockwork canary. The canary chirps slightly off key, an aria from a forgotten opera. From out of the greenery flies a lovely songbird. It perches on a limb just over your head and opens its beak to sing. As it does so, a beautiful brass bauble drops from its mouth, bounces off the top of your head and lands glittering in the grass. As the canary winds down, the songbird flies away. So there you go, we get another treasure from the songbird, and we'll get the bauble and then head south and east and then west back to the kitchen. Now remember that sack from earlier. We're going to open the sack at this point and see what's inside. Okay, so the sack has a lunch in it and a clove of garlic for dessert maybe. So we'll get the garlic. We're going to ignore the lunch and we'll use the garlic for something a little bit later. Okay, so now that we've got the garlic, we're going to head west to the living room and our treasure stash there. We'll be putting the couple of treasures we have collected into the treasure case. And then we'll be heading on down to the great underground empire to continue our incredible adventure here in Zork. Alright, so we've offloaded the treasures that we had in our inventory. So let's head back down to the great underground empire, back down the trapdoor here, and see what else we can find on our adventure. Remember, the trapdoor was closed behind us by some random dude, so we'll open the trapdoor and head back down. And we'll need to turn on our lantern once again to protect us from the deadly grue. Alright, we're in the cellar again. Let's head north through the troll room, east. We're in an east-west passage, and there's a stairway leading down to the north end of the room, so let's head north. We're in a chasm now, which runs southwest to northeast, and the path follows it. We're on the south side of the chasm, where a crack opens into a passageway. We'll head northeast. We're in the reservoir south now. So you're in a long room on the south shore of a large lake, far too deep and wide for crossing. There is a path along the stream to the east or west, a steep pathway climbing southwest along the edge of the chasm, and a path leading into a canyon to the southeast. So we'll go east to the dam, and this is at the top of flood control for the dam, which was a tourist attraction in times far distant. The sluice gates on the dam are closed, and behind the dam there is a wide reservoir with water pouring over the top of the abandoned dam and a control panel. We'll come back to that. Let's head north to the dam lobby. Now from the dam lobby there's something that we'll need for later, and that is the matchbook. So we'll get the matches and then we'll move on. Okay, so we're going to head north now. And this will take us to the maintenance room. So this appears to have been the maintenance room for flood control for the dam. Apparently this room has been ransacked recently. Most of the valuable equipment is gone. But on the wall in front of you is a group of buttons colored blue, yellow, brown and red. There are doorways to the west and south and a number of items. So what we'll do first is push the yellow button. The red button just turns the lights on. You don't need to push that, and whatever you do, do not press the blue button. Okay, next what we're going to do is pick up the wrench and all that stuff, the screwdriver. The only thing we're not going to pick up from the maintenance room is the tube, which is useless. Okay, so once we've got all of that stuff from the maintenance room, we'll be heading south, back to the lobby. Now at this point, what we're going to do is head south again to the dam. You may remember this room from before, so the sluice is currently closed. What we want to do is turn the bolt with the wrench. So water is currently pouring over the top of the dam and into the reservoir. So what we want to do is release the water and drain the reservoir. So the sluice gates open and water pours through the dam. Now we'll get rid of the wrench, we won't need that again. Okay, so we're back at the reservoir south. Notice it says here, to the north is a large lake too deep to cross. You notice, however, the water level appears to be dropping at a rapid pace. Before long it might be possible to cross to the other side from here. Now we're going to head southwest to the chasm at this point, and then south. Okay, so let's head south again to the round room. And we'll head southeast. Now we're in an engravings cave, a low cave with passages leading northwest and east with old engravings on the walls. Now we're east to the dome room. Now it seems as if this room is a dead end, but actually it's not. And what you want to do so that you can get past this point in the map is tie rope to railing. Okay, so we're tying the rope to the railing here in the dome room. And once we've done that, we'll be able to go down the rope, which drops to within 10 feet of the floor. And at the bottom of the rope, we're in the torch room, which is a large room with a prominent doorway leading to a down staircase. Above you is a large dome that we're in. Up around the edge of the dome is a wooden railing. In the center of the room sits a white marble pedestal. A piece of rope descends from the railing above, ending 5 feet above your head. Sitting on the pedestal is a flaming torch made of ivory. Now, this ivory torch is actually a treasure, but it's also a tool that we'll carry with us for much of the rest of the game. At this point, because we have light from the torch, we'll turn off the lantern to save the power in the lantern, because we'll still need the lantern a little bit later on. We will get the torch, so we've taken that, and let's head on down. We're now in a temple. On the east wall is an ancient inscription, probably a prayer in a long forgotten language, and there is a bit of a clue. Below the prayer is a staircase leading down and a granite wall with some marble pillars, etc., etc. But there is a brass bell, so we'll take the brass bell, which is important for later, and we'll head south. We're now in an altar. In the corner is a small hole in the floor which leads into darkness. You could probably not get back up it. And we also see some burning candles and a large black book open to page 569. So what I'm going to do is get all, and then we'll be heading down. And this is where it starts to get a little bit crazy. We're in a cave with a dark, forbidding staircase leading down. A gust of wind blows out your candles. So we'll go down. Now we are at the entrance to Hades. You're outside a large gateway on which is inscribed, "Abandon every hope, all ye who enter here." The gate is open. Through it you see a desolation with a pile of mangled bodies in a corner. Thousands of voices lamenting some hideous fate can be heard. So what you need to do is ring bell, because the gate is barred by evil spirits. The bell suddenly becomes red hot and falls to the ground. The wraiths, as if paralyzed, stop their jeering and slowly turn to face you. On their ashen faces, the expression of a long-forgotten terror takes shape In your confusion, the candles drop to the ground and they're out. So get candles. We'll need those next. Once you've got the candles, light match. Now, fairly intuitive, what we're going to do once we've lit the match is light the candles. The candles are lit, the flames flicker wildly and appear to dance. The earth beneath your feet trembles and your legs nearly buckle beneath you. The spirits cower at your unearthly power. The match has gone out. So the next step for us to get past these spirits safely is to read from that book that we picked up. Each word of the prayer reverberates through the hall in a deafening confusion. As the last word fades, a voice loud and commanding speaks, "Begone, friends." A heart-stopping scream fills the cavern, and the spirits, sensing a greater power, flee through the walls. So at this point we can drop the candles and the matches and the book, because they have served their purpose in giving us access to the land of the dead. You have entered the land of the living dead. Thousands of lost souls can be heard weeping and moaning. In the corner are stacked the remains of dozens of previous adventurers less fortunate than yourself. Lying in one corner of the room is a beautifully carved crystal skull. It appears to be grinning at you rather nastily. So we will get the skull, because that is the treasure we came to collect from this land of the dead. I wonder if it's the same crystal skull from that Indiana Jones movie. Anyway, we're going to head north and then up, back to the cave, north again. Now we're in a mirror room. You're in a large square room with tall ceilings. On the south wall is an enormous mirror which fills the entire wall. Now this is an interesting part or room in the game, because what you need to do is touch the mirror. Now, otherwise it may seem as if it's a dead end, but once you touch the mirror, we actually end up being transported magically to another identical room in another part of the map. And this room is exactly the same as the other one, but it's on the north side of the reservoir rather than the south side. Okay, so if we head north from the mirror room, we'll end up in a cold passage. So you want to head west and you'll be in the slide room. Now this room contains a steep metal slide twisting downward, and now that we've drained the reservoir, we'll be able to use that as our ticket out of this part of the map later. Let's head north now, and we'll end up in the mine entrance, which is a new part of the map we haven't been to yet. Okay, heading west now, we're in the squeaky room. So strange squeaky noises can be heard coming from the north end of the passageway. So we'll head north and we're now in the bat room. You'll notice in this room there's a large vampire bat hanging from the ceiling holding his nose, as well as an exquisite jade figurine. So what you need to do is drop the garlic that we picked up from the sack in the kitchen. That will prevent the bat from transporting us out of this room, which would happen if we didn't drop the garlic. So once we drop the garlic, we will get the figurine. Thanks for watching, guys. To see what happens next, please watch part 3.